Dumelang, Tsibinki. Welcome to another episode of Fire One today. This one is gonna focus on trolls on social media and the danger of taking trolls seriously, which is something that's been happening around the world where people are getting banned from social media platforms, people are getting arrested by governments for spreading misinformation, whether it's via COVID or it's for political situations. There's a danger that's starting to creep into our politics in South Africa, and also thanks to social media, they're in cahoots with government and saying, okay, you want us to ban that person because they said something you didn't like, let's do it. But where does it stop? We've raised this issue a lot with Twitter. I'm not going to do it again. But remember, please, let's not get excited. Let's not get excited. No, you are like, oh no, let me share this quickly. Oh, I want my friend. No, don't share, don't like. Nobody cares about all those things. So, starting with trolls, what happened in South Africa is that a few people during the arrest of Jacob Zuma started raising issues about what did Zuma do, and like it didn't matter how many times you told them like, hey, he was supposed to appear in court and he said no. Even today the same people still don't understand why Zuma should go to jail after they've given him time to go see a doctor, and the court said, okay, we want to send our own doctors, and he refused. And this is the same person that you guys are supporting. Is this your king? Is this your king? That's cool. And then the audacity for Manye to release some poster with spelling nonsense and that was grammatically incorrect. I mean, look at me talking about grammatically incorrect and I can't even put a sentence together. Asking for donations, and people are saying like, yo, why is the son who's like multi-billionaire not helping his dad out? That's the thing with politicians. They do not care about you. You think they do, but they do not. So there's a danger in the government under Ramaphosa to start arresting people because they have a different view than theirs. So if you wake up today and you say, hey, Jacob Zuma shouldn't be arrested, it's like, oh, you're trying to destroy the country. The fact that they arrested somebody because he had t-shirts that supported Jacob Zuma and nobody's talking about that, that was very dangerous. That was the beginning of a dangerous man. Ramaphosa is a very dangerous man who's pretending to be a great guy. It's only gonna appear to us how dangerous he is when it's already too late. But yes, I think before you arrest people for having a different opinion than yours and saying, accusing them of trying to push for a coup in the country, you need to look at their previous posts. We're wasting time arresting somebody who was yesterday tweeting that Sister Bettina is the new national anthem. And then the following day, they wake up and they're like, I'm not taking the vaccine. And it's like, oh, vaccine misinformation. Like, come on, man. Stop wasting time with those people. If they want to die, let them die. Um, there's also the issue of variants. There's another South African variant. Yo, like, the world is so messed up. So South Africa is a country that has dealt with TB, a country that has dealt with HIV. So they had to create platforms, they had to create companies that deal with viruses, that deal with all these situations. So it's easier for a country like South Africa to say, hey, there's a new variant of this virus. How? Because the best scientists work in South Africa, because we've had to deal with, like as mentioned before, HIV, TB. So it's easy for us. We already have the equipment to just find these things easily. But the scientists, the journalists, sorry, not scientists, the journalists are so lazy. For them, it's like a scoop. Oh, a new variant, a South African variant. No, it's not a South African variant. It's a it's the same virus, but it has changed. So you can find it in Australia, you can find it in India, you can find it all over the world. But what I've noticed that a lot of countries are not talking about the variants that are happening in their country. Either they realize that it has negative connotations to their tourism, to their business, to their people who want to travel, or they just feel like we can't do it. We haven't dealt with this before. and they punishing us for having dealt with this type of shit. So when it comes to all these variant things, I think the whole world, especially the World Health Organization, they should thank us. They should thank us. And talking about them having to thank us, they also need to stop this thing going back to the issue of arresting trolls for misinformation, to act like some of these trolls were not right. Most of the trolls who were against the vaccine were saying, hey, this is too quick for you guys to claim that it works. It's too quick. Johnson & Johnson comes as like, oh yeah, no, our thing might need a booster because it doesn't work. It's like, but then you guys banned people who said the same shit. You arrested people for saying this shit. It's crazy. We should stop that. We should really stop arresting people for having different opinions. And that's the danger that we've given to social media companies. We've given them too much power. Monuments in South Africa are closing. First it was the Mandela House in Soweto, and now it's Lily's Leaf Farm. They're closing down. The Department of Arts and Culture is very useless. Nathi Mthethwa needs to get fired. That's all I have to say on the topic, but here's what you need to understand. We're erasing our history. We started with the name changes, that was cool, and I kept saying, let's not change all the names, let's put them with the new names that we want to see there. So when we move around, we say, oh, that's Van Riebeck Street, this was during apartheid, but we changed it to Steve Biko. Steve Biko is the person who died. So there's a continuation of history. Some people have said, hey, just take those signs to a museum. Apartheid museum is closing as well. What type of country are you that has such terrible history to not have apartheid museum open, to not have Mandela's house open, to have Lily's Leaf closed down? That's money. People travel all over the world to come see where Mandela used to stay. People travel all over the world to see Lily's farm where Mandela got arrested. And they had to plan like how to go about defeating apartheid. And Nathi Mthethwa tweets like, we are ready. We are ready to change things. He's not ready for anything. Nathi Mthethwa should go to jail. Rest in peace to the woman that was killed. I'm sorry, I don't want to pronounce your name very wrong because that would be disrespectful. I blame Zweli Mthethwa. Rest in peace to the woman that got killed, who was a whistleblower. I blame Zweli Mkhize. Yeah, I said it. Zweli Mkhize, it's your fault. It's your fault. Your corrupt family, and you should go to jail with your children, all of them. I saw one of those idiot kids of yours in his girlfriend's or wife's salon with his shiny shirts. The day is coming. The day is coming when I get rid of all of you. I'm gonna get rid of all of you very soon. Going back to technology, we need to stop thinking the way to get out and get recognition in the world is by following the West. Europe and America are not the leaders anymore when it comes to technology. We've seen what the Chinese are doing. We've seen what the Indians are doing. Even when you're looking for sponsorship, let's start looking into Eastern countries like China, Singapore, like America and the European Union, putting the UK there. They were cool in the past, but now it's like, what have they done in the past 10 years? Like literally nothing. Zoom is not by an American. It's all these people from Eastern countries that went to the US and they started it there. So if we can create a situation where our best entrepreneurs don't have to leave the country and they get support from our government, we have venture capitalists, we have angel investors for them to start their products in our own countries and be able to employ as many people as we can, that should be our main focus. So let's start looking into the East in terms of ideas, because some of those countries have the same problems that we have. So it's logical not to focus on electric cars the same way they're doing it in Sweden. We don't have electricity. Let's find out what they're doing in China, in India, in all those countries. Japan, for electricity, okay, Japan is more first world, but It's also an East country which had like its economy destroyed by the US, but they came back. Innovation, we need to support our innovation ideas by making sure we partner with people that understand our struggles. That's very important. Let's move to the East in terms of inspiration. Uh, Lastly, I would like to touch on the issue of BP, which is a petrol station, gas station if you're in the US, and they got a license to sell alcohol. A lot of people are losing their shit, but the problem is not BP getting their license. The problem is that South Africa has a problem with alcohol. That wouldn't happen if people were not buying alcohol as much as they are. So we need to face ourselves. Let's not worry about what BP is doing. They're just a company that's focusing on making profits. They don't care about you. They don't care about anyone except for themselves. So we need to start talking about our relationship with alcohol. The way we drink is not healthy. It's not healthy at all. With that said, free the trolls, Jovijo.